All right, everybody, just a quick daily space weather supplemental here. This one will indeed appear both on YouTube and on BitChute, the two main repositories of our content. Let's get to it. So this morning's daily space weather video was entitled Coronal Mass Ejection Warning! New Sunspot 2835 was some of the other stuff we covered. And what we're talking about here is, well, here's a clip. Sort of viewpoint. And you can see there's a large plume of plasma there. The ejection of that is imminent. So anyway, that was the forecast, imminent coronal mass ejection. Let's see what's going on now. And to do that, we'll take a look at what's going on from the viewpoint of Stereo A, a spacecraft which chases Earth around the sun, orbitally speaking, and sees space weather ahead of the Earth, located out here under my pointer at Lagrangian 0.5. And you can see that coronal mass ejection beginning now. It looks like some ejecta may be sort of on its way out of the corona as we watch this process continue. And let's take a look at what's going on directly on the sun, as we saw some filaments about to erupt earlier today. So here's the view from the Solar Dynamics Observatory, and we're looking at just today here, June 25th, and the filament that we cited in this morning's video has indeed at least partially ejected here. You can see it's sort of vanishing from view right here, and we'll zoom in on that a little bit. I think this is an ongoing process too. We did see a C-class solar flare also out of sunspot 2833. And here's another view. So here's 193 angstroms, which also often does show some filamentary activity. In this case, not so much. And here's one of the most comprehensive views you can get from the Solar Dynamics Observatory Browse Data section. It's 171 angstroms ionized iron and the colorized magnetogram. So let's get a close-up in this composite view here. It's showing you the polarity as well. So you can see those red areas, those are South Pole magnetic regions. The blue areas are North Pole magnetic regions. Also, it looks like sunspot 2835 may have increased in size a little bit. Let's take a look at that as well. So there's the magnetogram alone of sunspot 2835, which is this active region right here, and that has indeed grown. So the likelihood of solar flares has actually gone up here a bit. It looks like both sets of umbrae have gotten larger. Let's take a look at the intensity gram. So there's the intensity gram of sunspot 2835, and it has significantly increased in total umbral area here. And we're going to have to animate that. That's the ultra high resolution data there from the SDO. All right, and here comes some more solar imagery. So here's the intensity gram, and you can see the growing and the spreading apart of these spots. This is something that we see regularly here, where we see the one polarity umbra behaves a little differently than the other one. You can see this one moving a little bit to the south and growing some umbrae to its north. So that's some interaction happening there, and we may even see a flare kicking off while we're making the video, as this dynamic environment is pretty tough to cover in real time. So here's one of our composites. This is 335 and 1700 angstroms. Here's ionized carbon and 335 angstroms. The ionized carbon is the 1600 angstroms wavelength, and the 335 angstrom is one of the ionized iron spectral states. The specter of spectra. And here's sunspot 2833 setting. It'll lose its name in a few hours. It did produce some flares, and we could still see solar flares even once it's out of sight. So There's some physics behind why sunspots create more X-ray flares on the limbs. We'll have to save that for a different video, as this is the Daily Space Weather Supplemental. And we just wanted to put out a quick video here to let you know that the coronal mass ejection that we forecasted was indeed happening. So this is going to be an ongoing event. Expect it to last for quite a while. And we'll go back through these images here as a recap before I close things out. Thanks for tuning into the Daily Space Weather. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. smAsho. And we'll close out on this imagery here. From the Smash News Network, Least Busted Name in News.